Hi guys, Editor Misty here. I just wanted to let you guys know that the adventure that I'm about to discuss in this video does have a PDF. I have put it in the Ko-fi link in the description below, free of charge. So feel free to check that out and download it if you think that this sounds like something that you would be interested in. Thanks and enjoy the video! Aboleths, horrors of the deep, ageless and all-knowing. Their goals, innumerable, and unfathomable to adventurers who dare try to understand it. Their psionic abilities are strong, and allow them to even consume the memories of the adventurers fighting it. But how does one bring one of these creatures into your game? How do you craft a mystery where this oversized lamprey can be your villain? Let's set the scene, and create an adventure for our abjuration friend. Along the coastline, a thriving kingdom with a successful fishing market. Being on the coast means that it's a strong trading hub, and a lot of successful merchants stop by, even more calling it their home. However, recently, there's been something strange happening. It starts small, with simple things. A few ships go out missing in the ocean. These things happen. It's a bit out of season for a storm, but ships sink in the ocean, and that's just a risk that one has to take when being a sailor. Fishermen start bringing in less fish. Again, it can be brushed off at first. Maybe this year's season wasn't very good for breeding. Maybe it's an odd migration. Things can be explained. There are off years. Things happen. But things continue to get worse. Even the kelp pulled in fishing nets looks wrong. Black sludge stings the seaweed and poisons the fish, causing them to ruin and decay before even being brought to shore. And then it becomes truly unexplainable. Things are no longer able to be ignored or brushed aside. People can no longer believe in coincidence, and choosing to believe nothing is wrong, ignorant and foolish. This is because people are beginning to disappear. Those who knew the ones disappearing mentioned that the victims had heard a song over the past few days, seeming to call to them. And then the old man who lives in a shack on the beach says he saw one of the victims walk into the ocean, pulled in seemingly by the waves, vanish. No body to go out and find, no feet splashing as if they were swimming away, just gone. Of course, our adventurers are the only ones who can get to the bottom of this. If your adventurers are local to the area, you can start their questing pretty early on at the beginning of these mishaps starting. You could hint at fish being bad or ships going missing in newspapers or in random tavern gossip that they hear, and have them go on seemingly unrelated adventures until they get a bit stronger. Maybe there's an old haunted manor nearby that they clear out, or maybe a group of smugglers in a local cave. But if your party is traveling through, they can hear about all of the happenings that have been going on from either the old man in his shack on the beach, or from a tavern keep at the local Sharkjaw Inn. Upon realizing that something supernatural is happening on the coastline, though, there are a few quests that can drop clues to our players. The smugglers that they take on early level can be smuggling weapons to a group called the Ones Who Wait, or something similarly cryptic. If they question the smugglers or go snooping through old business logs, they'll find the payment comes in via mail package and the weapons are dropped off in a hole in a cave. The cave can only be entered with a ship and only during low tide, making the timing important and also risky to investigate unless they're a bit higher level, or until they have the connections in town to get a ship or afford to buy one themselves. While they puzzle through how to deal with that cave or what to do about the Ones Who Wait, back at the inn a few days later, a storm hits, and it is Horizontal rain flashed flooding bad. There is an elder woman taking shelter at the inn, just like the party is. And she warns that this storm in particular is an omen. It's a sign of change to come, of bad will intended toward the village. The bartender can scoff it off, but suddenly the inn goes black. Fire snuffed out. And even before eyes with dark vision can adjust to the sudden shift of the light, or before a candle can be relit, a loud thud, and we find the old woman dead. The inn is now host to a murder mystery, where nobody can leave until the resolution is found and the storm passes. Cue the Scooby-Doo jokes or Betrayal on House of the Hill jokes from your party here. Upon resolving who the killer is, our heroes find an amulet carved with tentacles in the iron, and a note from the ones who wait. Why would they want this woman dead? Unless what she was saying had some weight. Unless what she was saying had some truth to it. Eventually, after more investigations and maybe some more adventures, the party learns that the ones who wait are a cult. And they're also behind the reason that the ocean seems to be dying. The why, nobody's quite sure. That part is actually up for you as the DM to decide. But eventually, they do have to find this cult. Upon finding the cult's hideout in a cavern, they learn that the victims that have been getting lured into the sea have been taken by the cult to give to the Aboleth as sacrifice. Your party approaches the most recent sacrifice at the altar, sitting, mind glazed over. The altar is essentially a shallow wading pool, hooded figures surrounding it. If the party hesitates or tries to plan a little too long for your liking as to how to handle this situation, and can't seem to agree, you can start the action yourself by having a tentacle breach the water, wrapping around the sacrifice to consume, and requesting an initiative roll at that point. In either case, a skirmish breaks out involving the cultists, our party, and potentially a tentacle. At the end of the fight, they learn that the Aboleth is what the cult is serving, and that the Aboleth resides in a cavern directly below the kingdom. Maybe they learn this via the sacrificial person surviving and explaining this to them, because the sacrificial person is actually a student of the occult and has been researching this. Maybe they're an archivist that has been looking into these legends. Or perhaps they find a diary on one of the dead cultists, if the sacrifice doesn't survive. Regardless, the party must make their way to the Aboleth, and they have to kill it in order to resolve this issue fully. Entering the lair of the Aboleth, our heroic adventurers find a shallow pool of water in a large cavern. It is slick with moss and damp. The water is murky black like a poison, and the air is stagnant. It smells of blood and dead fish, iron and sulfur mixing in a pungent, filthy manner. The players don't see the Aboleth immediately, but it doesn't take long for it to make its presence known. A large tentacle appears and slams down on the player with the lowest dex score. Its all-knowing mind knows full well the easiest targets. Roll for initiative. Will the party survive? Will the players figure out the why behind all of this? Will they notice that maybe some of their memories are getting altered by this Aboleth's psionic capabilities? And how many of these memories are made up? All of that is up to you as our DM. But perhaps this setup can assist you in taking the first steps to that adventure. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.